The sump stink of the underhive never left your throat. It clung like oil, coated your tongue with rot, and made every breath taste like rust and fire. Krail Vex had grown used to it, had grown up with it. But tonight, even the poison air felt thicker, heavier. The promise of blood hung in it. The gutter runners, his Escher rivals, had crossed into Orlock turf again. They'd taken a shipment of promethium drums meant for the Iron Serpents, Krail's gang, and left one of his juves skinned and dangling from a rusted gantry like a warning sigil. The underhive didn't tolerate weakness, and Krail knew that if he let it stand, his name would be carrion by morning. The serpents gathered in the hollowed shell of an ancient manufactorum. Their bodies were painted with ash to keep the chemlamps from catching them in the dark. Weapons were patched, loaded, and checked by shaking hands. No one was clean. No one was whole. Orlock's sons and daughters bore burns, scars, bionics hammered in without anesthetic, tattoos done with sump ink and broken needles. "Tonight," Krail rasped, leaning on the haft of his chain axe, "we take back what's ours." No Escher walks out of the Drossyard. Not one. The gang roared back, their voices echoing down broken steel corridors. The Drossyard was a graveyard of machines, collapsed chimneys, broken conveyor lines, pools of sump sludge that glowed faintly from radiation leaks. It was also gutter runner territory. The Escher were already waiting. Lost fire cut the darkness first, searing red lines through the gloom. An Orlock heavy went down, a hole melted through his chest. The serpents scattered, returning fire with auto pistols and reclaimed lost carbines. Bolts of phosphor light ricocheted off rusted plating, turning the battlefield into a furnace of sparks and screams. Krail led the push, axe grinding against rebar as he charged. The Escher leader, Cass Thrine, tall, scarred, hair dyed a toxic green, stepped into view. She carried a needle rifle, but her smile was the weapon. "You've come far from your rat nests, Krail," she taunted, her voice carrying over the chaos. "But you won't crawl back." Her rifle hissed, and one of Krail's men dropped, spasming, skin blistering from the toxins. Rage drowned the fear in his chest. Krail surged forward, axe howling as its teeth bit into the metal around him. The gangs clashed. Flesh against steel. Auto pistols barked point blank, knives found gaps in armor, and boots crushed faces into sump water. The air filled with screams, the buzz of chain blades, and the hiss of chemicals. Escher juves leapt from overhead walkways with poison blades, while Orlock heavies fired stubbers until the barrels glowed red. Krail found Cass on the upper gantry, where burning promethium barrels cast everything in a sick orange glow. His axe dripped with blood, and his arm throbbed from a lost burn, but he didn't slow. "You think you can choke us out forever?" he snarled, raising his weapon. "The hive belongs to the ones who hold it." Cass laughed, pulling a vial from her belt and smashing it against the floor. Vapor hissed, thick and acrid. His lungs seized, vision blurring, but rage carried him through. She fired, the needle rifle spitting venom darts, but he was already swinging. The axe caught her shoulder. Bone cracked. She shrieked but didn't fall. Escher never did easy. She jammed a stiletto knife into his ribs, twisting until black spots danced in his eyes. Both staggered, bleeding, choking, but neither let go. Around them, the fight raged. Serpents and runners tore each other apart for control of the Drossyard. By dawn, half would be corpses feeding sumprats. Krail's axe finally tore through flesh and steel alike. Cass collapsed, blood pouring from her throat. She spat in his face with her last breath, defiant even in death. The gutter runners broke. The serpents raised their guns and roared, the Drossyard echoing with their victory. But victories in the underhive never lasted. 2 days later, the Delac emerged from the shadows, silent as smoke. They didn't need to fight. They didn't need to bleed. They just took what was left, the promethium drums gone by morning, the Drossyard deserted. Krail Vex awoke coughing blood, his gang scattered, the taste of rust still in his mouth. The hive never remembered the names of the dead. It barely remembered the names of the living. But it always remembered the blood.